Cruise ships are supposed to be escapes, floating cities where nothing exists except cocktails, music, and the horizon. But every ship carries secrets, hidden decks, sealed cabins, unspoken rules whispered only among the crew. And when the sun sets, when the hallways fall silent, those secrets rise to the surface. Tonight, you'll hear 3 true horror stories from cruise ships. A passenger who never boarded, a cabin that should have stayed locked, and a midnight knocking that drove guests to abandon their vacation in terror. This is No Sleep Tonight. And after this, you may never look at a cruise ship the same way again. The passenger who never boarded. I worked on a Caribbean cruise ship for almost 3 years. By day, it was all laughter, sunburned tourists, and endless buffets. But after midnight, the ship belonged to the crew. The music faded, the lights dimmed, and the hallways seemed to stretch on forever. Steel walls humming with the sound of the ocean pressing against them. That's when we started getting reports. The first was from an elderly couple. They called security just after 2 a.m., panicked. They said there was a man outside their door, tall, thin, standing completely still. He didn't knock, didn't move, just stared at the door as if waiting for something. When the guards arrived less than 2 minutes later, the hallway was empty. The description was oddly specific: 6'2", pale skin, dark hair, long grey jacket. Too specific to dismiss. A few nights later, a family with 2 kids reported the same man. The kids were terrified. One claimed he woke up to see the man standing at the foot of his bed. Though the balcony door was locked and no one else had a key, the father swore it was just a nightmare. But the fear in those kids' voices, I've never forgotten it. We checked the manifest. Nobody on board fit the description. Even stranger, no one with that description had boarded in the last 3 cruises. But the sightings kept coming. Always after midnight. Always gone before security could arrive. Finally, one night, a guard caught him on camera. The footage was grainy, but clear enough. A tall man in a grey coat walking down a corridor. He turned into a dead-end hallway with only 4 locked crew storage rooms. The guard followed seconds later. Nothing. Every door still locked. Weeks later, when I helped clear out one of those storage rooms, I found it, tucked behind an old shelving unit, folded neatly in the dust. A long grey jacket. Not modern. Out of style by decades. I never reported it. I just closed the door and left the jacket where it was. But sometimes, when the hallways go quiet, I swear I feel eyes on me. Waiting outside the cabin doors. The locked cabin. Cabin service is thankless work. Strip the beds, bleach the bathroom, fold the stupid towel animals. Same routine every day. But one morning, my supervisor handed me a key and said, "Clean, 733. I checked my list. Cabin 733 hadn't been occupied in weeks. Still, I unlocked the door. The air hit me first. Thick, humid, like someone had just stepped out of a steaming shower. The sheets were tangled, the pillows dented. The bathroom light glowed faintly, and I could hear the drip, drip, drip of water hitting tile. I froze. That cabin had been sealed. I called my supervisor, who brushed it off. Maybe you've got the wrong key. Maybe another guest slipped in. But when she came down herself, her face drained of color, she checked the logs. Cabin 733 hadn't been opened in over a month. We searched everywhere. Closet, empty. Balcony, locked. Under the bed, nothing. But the sheets were still warm. The shower tiles wet to the touch. The next day, maintenance sealed it again, this time for good. They even removed the brass number from the door. Now, on deck 7, the sequence jumps 731, 732, blank wall, then 734. Ask a crew member about it and they'll change the subject. Some whisper that a passenger died in there years ago and was quietly removed before anyone noticed. Others say it was a crew member who never left. I don't know what happened, but I do know that when I walk down deck 7, I can still feel the air shift. And if you put your ear against that blank section of wall, sometimes you can hear it. A faint, steady drip of water from a shower that hasn't run in years. The midnight knock. Every cruise has its pranksters. Drunk passengers sinking in the hallways at 3 a.m. Kids pressing every elevator button. So when reports of the midnight knock started, no one cared. But they kept happening. Always between 2 and 3 a.m. Always 3 knocks. Sharp, deliberate, evenly spaced. At first, guests complained of being woken up. Security told them it was probably kids. But then it spread. 10 cabins, then 20. Different decks, always the same. 3 knocks, silence, no one outside. One couple decided to catch the prankster. They stayed up with the lights off, watching the door. At 2:17, it came. 3 knocks. The husband jumped to the peephole. The hallway was empty. Then the knocks came again. Louder. He ripped the door open. Nothing. Just the endless corridor. But then they saw it. Small, wet footprints, bare feet, child-sized. Leading away from their cabin, glistening under the lights, they trailed halfway down the hall and then vanished into the carpet. The couple left the ship early at the next port. They refused to finish their vacation. For weeks, nothing happened. Then one night, after my shift, I was walking that same deck. The ship was silent, the air thick with salt and disinfectant. At 2:43, I heard it. 3 sharp knocks from the door right beside me. I froze. My keycard trembled in my hand. I turned slowly to look. No one in the hall. No shadows. Just the echo of those knocks reverberating down the corridor. And when I looked down, I saw them. 3 wet footprints right in front of my shoes. Fresh, still glistening. I didn't wait to see where they led. Cruise ships promise escape, a break from the ordinary. But for some, the voyage ends with far more than a suntan and a photo album. A man who never existed. A cabin that should never have been opened. Footsteps that belong to no one. Would you step on board after hearing these stories? Or would you stay safely on land, far from the endless black ocean? This has been No Sleep Tonight. Subscribe for more chilling tales. And remember, the sea doesn't forget. It only hides its secrets.